I've never told the full story. And that's why I wrote the article, and I wanted to do that today. Um, it's mostly because I didn't believe it, and I'm by nature introverted, and so it was challenging for me. Um, I've had a resistance to this for all of my life. In 1989, I started doing automatic writing, and I contacted a guide, Wilhelm, and it shocked me. It startled me at first, and I didn't tell anyone, didn't want to tell anyone, and I tried to hide it for almost 20 years. But in 2007, someone found some of the messages and said they really helped them, and so asked me if I would send them, and I agreed. I didn't understand why, but I went along with it, and that kept continuing. People started asking, and then in later on, even in 2010, my mother was passing, and she had dementia, and she would bring the messages and say they were really helping her so much, and I just figured that doesn't make sense. That's where she is now, and so I kept pushing back on it. I said that's not it. Then later, 2017, someone found a message, a dream I had had. I had the dream in 2005 where I was given something that I was meant to bring to the world, but I put it away. I said, no, I'm going to go back to my old life. I'm not going to do that. And things kept coming up. Then in 2020, the world started to change, and I knew that, but Wilhelm said, no, it's something different. And in 2021, I'm out for a walk, and they say to me, we've given you everything you need to know. We gave it to you in 2012. I didn't know what that meant. I had forgotten what 2012 was even about. And then I come into my home and I go to my computer and I find a folder that I'd not seen that said Wilhelm, and I open it. All the messages were there. And then when people thought the world was ending in 2012, Wilhelm said, no, wait. And he explained to me, you're building something different, and how we use energy. That's what they wanted me to understand. And then they also said they wanted me to start channeling because I'd never done that. I said, I can't do that. And they said, we have too much to say. And so I started. And then they told me that if I were to meet someone, that I was given a message on their birthday in 2012. I thought that makes absolutely no sense. But I started doing it, and it was happening more times than I can tell you. It was shocking to me, but they said they want each person to know their importance in the world now as we're moving through a transition. I still doubt it, but they said, please put people in a program, use our work. And I put people in this program. I called it 4 weeks to your best life because I just doubted it. I just wanted to see. And they were people from different ages, different races, different countries. And they all started to understand their blockages and moving through things and knowing who they are, so much so that it shocked me. And I kind of was in disbelief by a lot of it. Now, before all of this, there was so much more. I had been through so many illnesses and things in my life and all that. And even in 1990, I'm diagnosed HIV positive, but then I didn't need any medication for 15 years. And my doctors are looking at that. And I said, don't talk about it. I didn't want to tell people because I didn't understand it. And it kept going on. I'm 74 and I kept healing, kept getting better. And they're saying, we want you to understand what's possible. And your anyone could start to do this, and so could your planet. Then they took me back to something else. They took me back to Barbenheimer, where that's not accidental because everyone, when those two films came out, they had me write messages that they weren't accidental. Barbie was about looking at misogyny and racism in our world and uncovering it. And Oppenheimer was meant to be a warning that we don't have to repeat some of these same cycles because they started showing me how in history we repeat cycles and these evolutionary cycles, and that's what was going on, and they wanted me to become aware. Then they said that they would give me things a year before where I would understand what was happening. October 19th, I'm in Colorado at a channeling conference, and they said, look at the message we gave you the year before. And it said, your pain is not new. They were saying that we were going to see generational pain coming up globally. And that's what we were witnessing. And I still was doubting it. And I held back. And then I knew that it was so real and what I was experiencing, and I knew any other person could, but getting it out there to others was really challenging. And now I know that that's what's supposed to happen. And I'm grateful that I'm going to meet you folks today. But there's another thing. Today, they said, look at the message we gave you last year on this date, on the 13th. And it says, remember, nothing in your world has gone wrong. And I keep seeing this, and I said, I can no longer ignore this. So that's what I'm putting out today. So I can't do this all by myself. So I'm looking for people who see the potential in this. If you're a producer or a media person, what that can do something to get the word out there, because that's really what this is about. And they kept having me say certain things. There was a message they gave me on February 19th. They said, if you accepting this message could change your life and your world. Because they kept telling you, they said, utopia is attainable if more of you could believe it. So that's why I am looking for those people who can believe in this vision, who understand the potential that it has, and take it so much further. Thank you so much for being here. And you can reach me at roger@rogerburnley.com. Okay. See you soon.